Okay guys, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you the basic of HTML and how you can learn it, and I will show you the techniques that you have to practice, and I will be using the W3 school site. So if you go to W3 school site or if you type in the Google HTML tutorial, there are different kind of tutorials available, but I would recommend the W3 school site because it has an organized content and you can demo run your project online without using any code editor. If you see here, I'm on the HTML tab. So here on the HTML home, this is the starting point of for HTML. So here you can see it's the definition, like the example, like the basic HTML template. So you can click on try it yourself. It will open in another tab. So here you see this is the code, and here you see the result of your code. You can dynamically modify, add some, practice some other HTML elements. For example, this is new paragraph. If I say run, you see I get the result here. So this is how you can start like learning the basic of HTML. And if you can, for example, HTML start with the HTML tag, and this the heading tag is we use the sources for different. For example, later on when you learn JavaScript and CSS, you put reference to JavaScript and CSS files, and the title tag is that you put that page title. So and everything else is like all the design, everything will be inside the body tag of HTML. So this is the basic structure of an HTML page. So to learn more, for example, you can come here and you can read the details, like and just I will show you how you can uh, once you come in the bottom, you click next. Okay, it will take you to the next part of the tutorial of HTML tutorial, or you can click on the left navigation, just you can click. And again, here is the definition of HTML. It's HTML stands for hypertext markup language, and HTML is a standard markup language for creating web pages. I mean, you can read all those details here. I'm just trying to teach you how you can learn the basic of web development and basic of HTML through the W3 school site, which is a really useful site, and it has a clean content and that you can learn it like from the beginning to advance. So here, for example, the same example we showed before, and then it explains here each tag and the elements. So like this, you can for example, once you completed this part, again you can click next from here, or you can click on the HTML. This is how it goes. It starts here and then it goes like this. This is the next topic. For example, the which editor you will be using for editing your HTML tag. You can use any editor, even the Notepad, and the file of the HTML you save should be .html, the extension. I will be using VS Code for the projects. So if we come to HTML basics, again it's kind of explaining the basic structure of the HTML page. And then if you come to the elements, it explains like HTML elements, and okay, HTML attributes, like if we see, this is the HTML attribute. Okay, anything inside the tag is like this is HTML attribute. Headings, HTML has this heading 1, heading 2 up to heading 6, which we define it with the h1. H1 is the largest one, and then h2, h3, h4, h6. If you click try it yourself, you can see heading 1 is bigger size, heading 2 is smaller, and the same up to heading 6. HTML paragraphs. So let's start with the p tag. I mean, the content of your site, usually it's written with the paragraph, with the p tag. And HTML style, it has, you can do inline style, that the tag name, and then you put the style, and then the style property. This is called inline style, okay? That you write your style inside the HTML tag as an attribute. So this is called the inline style. And then we can also learn that we can reference the style to the page later. So just I will say that you can write inline style here like this. And basically you can go the same way. You can start from here. I mean, you can just read through the whole page, and then you can just try to practice it online like this. I just wanted to show you how you can use the site, W3 School site, properly, that you can learn HTML basics. Once you completed this HTML, and then you see the different, then you can come with different examples also and references. Once you finished all these ones, then you can come to the CSS tab, and you can learn the same way the CSS, starting from here. Then you click next, you learn the CSS, and then you come to JavaScript tab. Later on, once you started learning JavaScript, you can start learning again the same way. You can click on the tabs, and then you can learn the JavaScript. So this is how you can start learning your HTML and practicing it. So, and I will also show you how you can set up your project through a VS Code. And I will open the VS Code editor. Okay, I open my VS Code. It's loading. For example, if you want to create a new project, or you want to use a folder that you have your files, HTML files, you can click on the file, then you can click open folder. For example, I will say on C drive, I create a new folder. For example, HTML tutorial. Okay, I will select this folder, and then I will select the folder. Once I will select that folder, it will come and show here. So it will open the folder. Okay, once my folder is open, you can click in this plus icon for creating a new file, and this one for creating a new folder. This plus is for creating a new folder here. And let's say I want to create a new folder, project 1. Project 1, for example, and then enter. Okay, then inside the project I will create a new file, index.html. Make sure that you put the extension .html, that it should know that it's an HTML page. Okay, once we create our index.html page, I will close it. Then you can see it's an empty HTML page, and there is a shortcut in the VS Code. If you hit shift and then exclamation, it will create a template for you, HTML template, or you can come from the W3 school. For example, if we come to our HTML page, the same way we tried it there, we can copy this whole HTML example, and we can come here. Instead of this, we can paste it here. Okay. Another important thing is that when you write your HTML tag, you have to indent it properly. Okay. This is how you should be doing through the tab. Okay, this is the main HTML tag. Then you put one tab for the next tag in the index, and then for the body you put one tab, and then for the contents you can put one tab. This makes your code more readable and more clean. So for example, if I save this one, and in the VS Code, if you write your files, if you right click and select the Reveal File in Explorer, it will open the folder where your HTML file is. So it's on the HTML tutorial, drives into HTML tutorial project 1. Then you click the page, you can see that your web page is running. Okay, now let's try something else. For example, if we come to HTML tables, for example, once you started, for example, once you completed here and then you come to HTML tables, you learn about the HTML tables, and then here's an example of the table 100. TR stands for table row, TH stands for table heading, and TD stands for table data. So I will copy this example. Remember that anything should be, all these things should be all placed inside the body tag. Okay, I will clean this ones. I will paste my table here. Okay, so do clean up of my code. I will save it. If I come back to where my HTML page was and click it again, you see that it creates a table for me. And the same way you can create, like practice the other examples, for example, HTML list, classes, iframes, and all the other things which are there in the HTML, you can come and practice it. This is how you can learn the HTML. Again, I'm repeating, start from here, okay, and then go through the examples, read the documentation, and practice it. Copy the examples, paste it in your project, and then practice it. And you can try it online here also. Remember that just learn the functionality of each attributes. Don't memorize the code, okay? Just learn, okay, what is table tag, what is p tag, what is heading tag. Just learn it and then try to use it like on your project. That's how you can learn HTML and web development. The same way it is for the CSS, JavaScript, and other web development languages and scripts. So this is the template we created. The example, you can modify it. For example, you can add information extra. If you want to add a new row, you just copy this one. And for example, you can control variables, say that John 10 will put 100 for this one and save it. Come back to my HTML. You see the new rows added into my table. Okay, thank you so much.